Hey, Dr. Christine here. I just wanted to show you how to do something called emotional freedom technique, or also known as EFT. EFT has been around for a while and it has been used in a lot of different ways, everything from clearing old emotions to becoming open to new ones to even getting rid of addiction. And it's basically based on utilizing meridians from acupuncture throughout the body and on the face and the hand to stimulate certain parts of the brain while we use different phrases to either open ourselves to something, release our connection to something, or basically start to retrain our brain that we don't need that thing, or it creates something called cognitive dissonance, which is like a separation of our attachment to something. So it's a really cool technique, and I'm gonna get right to it. So basically, we're gonna be tapping different meridian points along the face and along the hand while we're saying certain statements. And then there's an exercise at the end with the eyes that is utilized to basically connect both hemispheres of the brain. And then we're going to count and we're going to hum, and that activates the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain, and then the movement of the eyes connects both hemispheres. So it's like we're reprogramming our brain around this concept. So you can use this in a number of different ways. The first time I was taught it, I was dealing with something that was frustrating. So they said, okay, please come up with a short statement or phrase or sentence that represents what you're feeling. For me, I just came up with the word frustrated. So I went through and I did the entire process saying frustrated, frustrated, frustrated. And it was basically to let myself release that feeling of frustration. Now, another approach, which I really like, is to basically say, I am open to. So it's like you're creating this opening for yourself. So it's like, I am open to not being frustrated. I am open to not feeling frustrated by this thing. I am open to whatever your statement is. And you can change it as you're going to really resonate inside of you. And if you do this one time and it's not quite clear, change up your wording a little bit and do it again. And we basically, if you rate yourself in the beginning, oh, I feel this in my body at a 6 out of 10, and I feel it, right here in my heart. And then you do this and you're like, okay, well now it's at about a 3 out of 10, but it's moved into my stomach. It's just kind of bringing this body awareness until we kind of clear it from the system. So let's experiment with one that's open, right? So one that's tough for a lot of people. Let's say I am open to loving my body. So this can go for people who are overly hard on themselves, or who are trying to run a race or lose weight, or who are in pain, any of those things. So you can kind of apply this to that, and when you can say it, whatever statement works for you. I'll show you all the points. We're basically going to go in a question mark kind of shape on the face, and then we're going to go under the collarbone, the ribs, and then on the insides of the fingers. When we get to the ring finger, we're going to skip it, go to the pinky finger, and then the ring finger point is basically out here. And it's just because we're dealing with meridian points. So that's essentially the points, and I'll go through it with you. So I also, if you want to make it a little more powerful, you can also start by hitting these points right here. It's basically right underneath my collarbones on either side of my sternum, or a little bit to the side. Sometimes those points are a little bit tender. We can just rub those points for a second and take a deep breath to kind of get into our body. And we can even start our statement now. I am open to loving my body. And it doesn't matter which side you do it on. You can do it on both, even better. I am open to loving my body. I am open to loving my body. I am open to the idea that I can be free of pain. I am open to the idea that I can be comfortable in my body. I am open to loving my body. I am open to loving my body. I am open to being free of pain. I am open to being comfortable in my skin. I am open to being comfortable in my skin. I am open to loving my body. I am open to loving my body. I am open to loving my body. Now we're going to close the eyes. You can stop tapping. Take a nice deep breath. Open the eyes. Without moving the head, we're going to look down and to the right, just with the eyeballs. Then we're going to look all the way up and over and down to the left. And then I'm going to go in a big circle all the way around, and a big circle all the way around in the other direction. And then I'm going to hum, so just repeat after me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there you go. That's it. Now you can check in with yourself. And that rating you gave at the beginning, you can see if it's a little bit lower and if it's moved in your body. And if you still want to say the same statement, or if the statement has come up in a different way. And this is a very cool way to be able to access your subconscious mind as well, because sometimes what you think is bothering you is a different version of the thing that's actually bothering your system. And so when we do this technique, it allows us to kind of clear away the top layer of stuff and see what comes up from underneath, and then clear that too. And it is amazing what it can do for your health in order to clear emotional stresses, because I think that is one of the things that stresses our body out more than anything, is what's going on in our subconscious mind. So there is a very basic tool for you called emotional freedom tapping, using acupuncture meridians and essentially reflexology and neurology to reprogram how your brain is associating with things going on in your life and whatever emotion or concept you're dealing with. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out.